Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Mental Health Mondays. So this week we are going to be talking about sleeping with a mental illness. This is one thing that I probably don't really have a lot of trouble with because I've always been quite a good sleeper and I kind of feel like I'm always absolutely shattered, so I will find it quite easy to go to sleep anyway. However, a lot of people do find it very difficult with a mental illness and struggling to get to sleep or struggling to get up or sleeping too much. That's, it's always quite a big thing within mental illness. Problems with sleep. So obviously people finding it hard to fall asleep or staying asleep when they've, drifted off to sleep and then actually staying asleep. Waking up earlier than you'd hope to, sort of like waking up before your alarm goes off or waking up at stupid o'clock in the morning when you don't really need to be up that day. Also probably finding it hard to get out of bed or feel motivated to actually get out of bed. That's one that I probably do have quite a lot of, struggling to get out of bed or finding the motivation to actually do anything or get out of bed anyway. So obviously there's another one where you kind of feeling constantly tired or sleepy or feeling like you've slept too much or not had enough sleep. I kind of feel like I sleep too much at the moment, so obviously I am working long hours now, but when I'm having my days off I'm kind of sleeping until probably 11, sometimes 12 o'clock, because I kind of feel like I need that. The causes of sleeping problems. So obviously you get like your normal general stresses, sort of worrying about money or work or your personal life. So obviously I get this quite a lot. I'll be worrying about, things that have happened to me that day, or stressing before payday that, I need to pay some things out, or, worrying that I've not got enough money. So health conditions such as like sleeping disorders or, things like insomnia kind of have your body clock back to front. So sometimes you will be so sleepy throughout the day and then, kind of want to go to sleep during the day, but then at night time you really are struggling because your body clock's gone back to front. Starting new medications or completely stopping them. So I remember when I was first taking my antidepressants, I take citalopram. I remember feeling so tired and as though I just wanted to sleep all the time, but I couldn't because I was panicking about the side effects of this new medication. There's also been times where I've probably forgot to take it for a day or two, or haven't ordered my medication in time, and it makes me feel so dizzy and sort of drunk in a way. It's strange, but obviously if you completely stop your medication, that can really have an effect on your sleep and struggling to get to sleep in general. Current or past traumas that you've been through that you may be overthinking before you go to sleep. So, it could be anything you've been through that you would class as sort of traumatic, or, things that you feel like you've struggled with in life. Overthinking them can cause a massive impact on your sleep. Sometimes I constantly think about whether people like me or not, and the impacts or struggles that I've had on other people's life. That kind of has such a huge effect on me, and sometimes I'll think about that before I go to sleep, and I just don't, it just makes me feel a little bit awake and, not able to get myself rested properly. How is my mental health affecting my sleep? So obviously there's a lot of different mental illnesses. The main one for me is obviously anxiety. So before actually going to sleep, you get like a strange trigger of racing heart, you know, repetitive thoughts. You feel so awake with these thoughts and obsessive, you know, thinking about things, making you feel like what's going on. This can sometimes lead to, you know, panic or anxiety attacks. I used to get this quite a lot last year. We went through the whole pandemic, the start of it anyway, the lockdown, all the, you know, horrible things you'd see on the news and everything, people talking about it on social media. You know, it kind of made me feel as though I didn't want to go to sleep because I was scared of waking up the next day and being poorly. I have a massive fear of dying, and that is my anxiety. Like if I start thinking about dying, my mind kind of doesn't let me get off that thought. A lot of people always say to me, why are you scared of dying? It happens to everybody. But you don't know how it's going to happen to you, and you don't know when, and you don't know where. It's just that thought of that fear as well of not knowing, and are you going to be in pain? And I have a very low pain threshold. You know, anything scares me. Depression is another thing that can have massive impact on your sleep. So obviously having trauma or flashbacks from certain things can cause worry and so much distress and fear in your life, and obviously make you have that fear of going to sleep in general. I mean, sometimes I do have a fear of the dark. I've actually started sleeping with the lamp on at night. It's not because I'm completely scared of the dark, because I do sometimes sleep with the telly on now, or I will have a little go with my phone before bed, which is not good. I'll get onto that. SAD disorder, so seasonal affective disorder, which is sort of like depression throughout the seasons. So I'm a big one for this. So sort of on the way up to December, you know, you're looking forward to Christmas, you know, time with the family, you know, you're enjoying all the festivities of life, and then it hits January. You've got no money, you're just sad because you can't do anything, it's freezing, and obviously living with anxiety as well, it has such a huge impact on that. When it comes to winter, you kind of want to stay in bed a little bit longer. You don't care what time it is, it's always dark outside, so you think, I'm stopping in bed, there's no bloody point. So obviously that's another huge one, seasonal affective disorder. Feeling paranoid is another big one. So feeling paranoid about certain things in life, maybe you've got something going on with somebody or something, and then you're feeling completely paranoid about that situation in general. You can't get those thoughts out of your mind, you feel overwhelmed with everything. As I spoke before, antidepressants, they can have some side effects on your sleeping. So obviously they can cause insomnia at first, nightmares, and also if you completely stop this medication, if you completely stop taking your antidepressants, it can completely throw you off with your sleep pattern. So now we're going to go into the tips. Establishing a good sleep routine. So for me, I would suggest sort of going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. So get yourself into a routine of kind of going to bed maybe like, I don't know, whatever you feel, maybe 11 o'clock, and then waking up early. So obviously if you've got work to go to, then that's, you know, try and get up every day at the same time that you go to work. So go to bed at 10, wake up at 7, go to bed at 10, 7, you know, do that every single day so that your body gets used to you in a routine, and it will kind of help work towards you starting to feel tired at certain times and ready to get up at certain times. Relaxation techniques before bed. So obviously listen to some podcasts or some relaxing music or anything like that. Have a warm bath, something, you know, something to make you feel really relaxed and ready to sleep. Another thing is sort of, you can do a technique where you sort of either place your hands on your chest and just listen and concentrate on your breathing. So obviously close your eyes, lie flat on your back, and just listen to yourself breathing in and out, and just concentrate on that instead of the overwhelming thoughts that you've already got going on in your head. Visualization techniques. So obviously picture a nice, landscape thing in your head, the countryside or a nice beach or somewhere you've been to that has made you feel relaxed and calm and peaceful. Just picture that in your head, as well as doing the concentrating breathing techniques, and just it will help you relax and send yourself into a nice calm sleep. Another one is make a sleep diary for 2 weeks. So obviously the things that you should put in your diary I've wrote down here. So write down what time you're going to bed and what time you're getting up. Write down the amount of hours that you're having to sleep each night, how many times you're waking up throughout the night, and what you're actually doing when you're awake in those times. Any particular nightmares or bad thoughts, overthinking, anything like that that you're having if you wake up during those nights of the 2 weeks. The medication that you're taking, what times you're taking it, if it's different every day, write it down. Obviously the amount of caffeine, alcohol or nicotine that you're having, write that down. If you're having any particular physical activity that day, your diet that day, write everything down. So whatever meals you're having, what drinks you're having, how much you've eaten, write it down. And also finally the mood or emotions that you're going through or feeling that day, write those down as well. Obviously then when the 2 weeks are over, look at your sleep diary, reflect and rewind and look at what you can actually change and make a different impact on. Because if you're thinking, oh, I hardly had any sleep that night, but hang on, I did have all that caffeine, or I had a lot of cigarettes that day, or I didn't do any exercise, there's so much that you can look at and think, maybe I'll change this and it might help my sleep pattern. There's always things that you could probably try and tweak and change to kind of help your brain focus on having a better sleep situation. Screens and devices. So obviously I am a massive sucker for this, so I will play on my phone before I go to sleep, and I will have a look through Instagram or Facebook or TikTok and stuff. That's just something that all of us do. It's a generation thing. However, it is really, really bad for your sleep, so try and avoid it for at least an hour to 2 hours before sleeping. So read a book instead maybe, or just probably write down in your diary instead of going through your phone. It will make a huge impact on going to sleep and feeling ready to sleep. Just the settings on your phone to sort of dark mode, or turn down the brightness at least. Create a better environment, so make sure that your room is completely dark, or if you are scared of the dark, have a nice little night light in the corner of the room. Make it quiet and make it cool as well, because if you're hot, you don't want to sleep properly, you're tossing and turning, your legs out, you're stripping off and all sorts. It's never so comfortable when it's hot. Always sleep in a nice, quiet, cool environment. So another one is lavender is such a huge help towards trying to get off to sleep. So you can get sort of like lavender sprays that you can spray on your bed before going to sleep, or you can also get diffusers that have lavender in them. Anything smelly that is lavender kind of is a very soothing thing to help you get off to sleep. Exercising regularly and cutting down on that caffeine and alcohol and nicotine. Also, if you nap throughout the day, you are going to struggle to get to sleep at night anyway. And finally, sleep apps. So I used to use an app called Calm. I think I explained about it in my last video. So it's sort of like a very relaxing app for sort of helping to go to sleep. Like they read you sleep stories, and you've got meditation and things on there for anything that you are struggling with in day-to-day life. There's also an app called Headspace that's got different things on there about helping you get to sleep as well. And finally, there's an app called Sleep Cycle. So obviously it's another sort of thing similar to writing your sleep in a diary. You get a sleep tracker. So obviously you can log anything different within your lifestyle in there that may have an impact in your sleep. That's about it though, guys. If you've got any questions or feel like you need to message me about anything mental health related or anything related to this video that I'm posting today, please don't hesitate to message me. I'm open to all questions and will try and answer them as best I can. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.